people are running such a big companies and they're running the city, they don't understand the fact that if you're locking out a driver, he's not going to go home. He's going to still stay on the road until he gets logged back in. They are actually making the driver work more. What they need to do, they need to regulate the app-based companies, not the drivers. I mean, you're talking about 89% immigrants who have language barriers. These companies are putting out like new policies and all that. Drivers don't even get that. We want TLC to create a panel, make a driver advisory board. You cannot sit in an office, 4 or 5 people, and make a policy and not take a consent from 200,000 drivers who are out there on the street.
Who are we?
IDG!
Who are we?
IDG!
Driver!
Power!
Driver!
Power!
We say no to no lockout! No to lockout! We say no to no cruising!
Of IDG, say a few words to you. Brandon Saxon.
Thank you, sisters and brothers, for coming out. This is incredible. They are not going to hear us if we stay home. We need to take to the streets and continually fight for what we need, for the economic justice that we deserve. And anytime we take to the streets and they say, who's that? We say IDG. Who are we?
IDG. The simple equation is this, that all these rideshare companies, Uber, Lyft, Via, Juno, they're making billions of dollars off of our backs, and we cannot barely pay our bills. Okay? They're bringing in these cruising cab, they're bringing in regulations on the drivers, but they're not regulating the app-based companies, right? They're giving them a free hand to make billions, whereas they're squeezing us and pushing us out of the industry, okay? The cruising cap, Mayor de Blasio announced a cruising cap, it doesn't make sense at all. If they lock you out to help out their utilization rate, you are still sitting in the traffic, being locked out and not able to make more money. So actually, you're spending more hours on the road rather than making money. We were already working 14 to 15 hours to make a decent living. Now we cannot even do that. Who's responsible for that? TLC? Uber. The problem is that they created this oversaturation. This is a problem which was created by the city, by Uber, by Lyft. We shouldn't be paying for it. So the drivers are coming out. You know how many drivers are there in the US? Anybody know how many drivers are in the US? There's 1 million drivers in the US, my friends. 1 million drivers. And there's 200,000 drivers just in New York City, licensed by Taxi and Limousine Commission, which are not here to address this issue, what's going on right now.
We're not just a bunch of numbers, we're individuals, we're people who are trying to provide a decent living for ourselves, for our families, and to provide a service for our community.
IDG, thank you Aziz Bond, and to all the drivers for fighting for your rights. Your rights are my rights, and together we will do this. My name is Raul Rivera. I'm a New York City TLC driver. I'm also a driver advocate, not by choice. Mr. de Blasio, we have a city agency that is contributing to violence onto the New Yorker. On October 3rd, 2018, at a TLC public hearing, I told the TLC commissioner if another driver took their life, that I would create a petition to reform the TLC. Here are some of our demands. Put 3 drivers on the commission panel. The reform of the TLC must come from the drivers. Only we can save the taxi industry now. A certified IT person to keep Uber, Lyft, Juno, and all ride-sharing apps in check. Cap TLC drivers. Keep cap TLC drivers licenses. 90% of drivers are immigrants. When a company has an unlimited supply of workers, you don't have to respect them. Give drivers 85% of the full fare. If the money is not coming from the TLC, then why not give drivers 85%? Or is it? Mr. de Blasio, don't ignore the cries of the TLC driver.
It is time now for us all drivers to get the message. It is not our duty to solve your problem, but it's our duty to be united as drivers, to hold each other accountable. We want 85% of every fare. refund for all of the costs that you spent to make us billionaires. So today, we're letting the billionaires know we had enough. You took enough from our pocket. Every company dips into our pocket. Every last one. From leasing companies to rental companies to TLC to NYPD, everyone has a hand in our pocket. Today, we're telling them, no more.
So it's up to all of us to do our job, to making sure that every single driver who is not here have hear our voice. To make sure that TLC hear our voice. To make sure New York City Council hear us.
We are going to do the reform. We're going to ask for the points. Driver cap. We want to lift the cruising cap. And much more. 85% for the driver. A cap on the license. We want a cap on that license. If a company has an unlimited supply of workers, they can abuse. We are not slaves. We're not slaves. Listen up, Mayor. We're going to reform the TLC. Mr. de Blasio, don't ignore the driver. Don't ignore the TLC driver. We will shut this city down. We don't want no fake promises. We want reform now.